Good evening, YouTube. Good to see everybody here. We're here back for another live. We are continuing our series. Let's see if I can turn the light down just a little bit. Okay. We are continuing our series, A to Z Sleep Hacks. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Robyn. I am a sleep health coach and a clinical pharmacist. I'm here to help you to get the most amazing sleep. So if you are in the right place, if you're having issues getting to sleep at night, you toss and turn, you just can't seem to get all of the day out of your mind, you're also in the right place if you can fall asleep, but you have issues staying asleep at night. So we look at a lot of our lifestyle, and basically that's what we're doing here, looking at lifestyle, seeing what we can do to help you get to sleep at night. So I am covering tonight the letter N. We've already done the rest of the alphabet, so definitely check the channel to see the previous letters in the alphabet so that you can definitely check to see if you're getting great sleep. And if you're not, we have amazing tips to really get you there. So we're definitely going to get started tonight. I titled this live 3 ways how nap time. I don't know if you all see this backwards. I have to see if you all see this correctly. I was going to go over the 3 ways for nap time. And these are 3 ways that nap time can actually ruin your sleep at night. So we're going to go over something. Let me see. I guess you guys can see that correctly. When I point, let's see, when I do my other stuff, okay, that looks fine. We'll see how it looks. I may have to do a replay and so forth. So I see some people starting to come in the live. We are on the letter N tonight. So we're going to talk about nap time. How many adults take nap time? I know it's not just for children, especially with all the stress we're dealing with during the day. It's a great idea for us to get in a good nap time. To have a consistent nap time. But there are some people, a lot of people will tell me, I have issues getting a nap. I don't know. Oh, thank you for the likes. Hi, come on in. Definitely thank you for the likes. We're talking about the issues that we have with getting a good night's sleep, specifically nap time. So we're going to look over some of that. And we have a little chart here. I'll go over and try and write some of the 3 issues. I am doing great tonight. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Let me know how you guys are doing down below in the chat as we talk about adult nighttime. We know we're always giving nap time for babies, toddlers, even older school kids. But nap time is really important for adults as well. So we're going to go into some of the benefits of the nap time and why you may be having issues definitely doing that. And what are some options and some ways that you can overcome that? So one of the first ones we're going to talk about is, and I hope you guys can see this isn't backwards. If so, I'll have to definitely do something else going forward. So we're looking at a lot of times when people take a nap, they're so exhausted, they take one that is too long. So that was the first thing we're going to go over, is when that nap time is way too long. So, hi, I see more people coming in. Raina's coming in. Definitely send out some likes to us. If you're new here and you are looking how to really get really good sleep, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Send us out some likes so that the algorithm will push this out. And definitely subscribe if you are looking to get to the bottom of having great sleep and ending insomnia once and for all. So we're talking about nap time. We're on A to Z sleep hacks, and we're looking at naps today. So a too long nap time. Ideally, you should be looking at taking what they call a power nap. So a power nap is anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Now you can cheat a little bit. I tell people on the weekends, if you don't have to get back to work as quick, and you want to make up a little bit of a sleep debt, you can go a little bit longer. And let's say if you're not going to bed till about 10ish or so. You don't want to take the nap really, really too long because you're going to decrease your body's ability to recognize that circadian rhythm of when you should ebb and flow and rest. Okay? So, and the circadian rhythm is just a fancy word for our body's internal clock. We have an internal clock set up that lets us know how often we should be getting good sleep. So hopefully you all can see this. I'm glad you're doing good tonight. Definitely come on in the live. I see some more people joining. Definitely come on in. Be sure to subscribe to SleepWell RX right here. I'm your clinical pharmacist and your health coach here to help you get the most amazing sleep. So the first one we talked about was too long. This is one of the major reasons why we're having issues. Oh, thank you, Elvis. Thank you so much. Definitely too long naps. The next one is too late. I'm a big advocate of nap time, but some people tell me, when I get off work at 4 and 5 o'clock at night, I try and take a nap. So 4 and 5 o'clock is really, really too late if you're trying to get in bed by 9 or 10 p.m. You're going to lose that desire and ability to want to get good sleep. So definitely you don't want the nap to be too long. Ideally, and I hope you all can see this, 20 to 30 minutes. And it's also called a power nap, just to take that edge off. Okay. Hello. Thank you so much for coming here. Great Legend, Elvis, Rituals, Brandon, all of you guys. Be sure to like the live, send us some likes, and be sure to subscribe as well. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you are looking to really fine tune how to get amazing sleep every night. So that was the second one. Our too late, you should have a window for nap time. So our window for nap time is anywhere, I'll say like if you get up at 4 or 5 a.m., you can do as early as 10 a.m., but you really want to have a cutoff of 3 p.m. So anywhere from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. is for your nap time. If you're doing it too early, you're just going back to sleep. So that doesn't count. Too late in the day, it's going to interfere with your nighttime nap. So it's okay to get a good night's sleep. It really is. And it's okay to take a nap. Some people say, I can't nap. It's because, I get off work at 5 or 6. You want to take that nap earlier in the day. So if there's some place that you can go for work, depending on the weather, you want to be safe. I don't want you to do anything that's dangerous, going to harm you, but you can safely sleep in your car for a nap time. And we're looking like at 20 to 30 minutes. We're not looking for hours of living in the car. 20 to 30 minutes, okay? And anywhere from the time of, let me see, I'll put a.m. here, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. is what we're looking at for our nap time. The next, okay, I see more people coming in. Definitely like the live. Be sure to subscribe if you are looking to get amazing sleep. So the third thing is too inconsistent. So I'll write that down next. Too inconsistent. So ideally, if you are a person that finds that you benefit from naps, first, too long, so it should be shorter nap. Once again, on the weekends when you may go to bed slightly at a different time, you want to stay some consistency. So within a 30 for 45 minutes time frame of when you usually do. But if you're going to bed slightly later, you want to do an hour, a whole hour or something that you can afford to do and it doesn't interrupt your sleep. You can go a little bit longer. You don't want to go too late. Some people are making a mistake when they get home, they're exhausted. And then they go to, take a nap around 5 or 6 p.m. and then they wonder why they can't get to sleep at night. That's way too late. Aim for doing it earlier in the day. So if you can do this like around 12 or so noon when it's your lunchtime, you can cut your lunch a little bit shorter. If you get an hour for lunch, cut your lunch a little bit shorter just to get that rest in, that nap. Thank you for the likes. Be sure to subscribe. Definitely. We're going over some of the 3 ways that nap time could be totally ruining your sleep at night. Definitely be sure to subscribe here at SleepWell RX if you're looking to get great, amazing sleep consistently. We're doing A to Z sleep hacks. We are on the letter N tonight. So we've gone over some of the 3 ways that nap time can definitely mess up your sleep. If you're sleeping too long, so once again, an hour maximum, like weekends, but it really ideally should be a power nap. If you're going too late, it should be anywhere from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Doing later and later in the day is definitely going to interfere with your nighttime sleep and confuse your circadian rhythm. And finally, too inconsistent. That's another thing that will confuse your circadian rhythm. Be consistent in when you're going to take your nap time so that you really get your clock on the right path. So we're going to go over some other letter N's today. Let's see, do I have an eraser for this? Let's see if we use this for an eraser. So we're doing the letter N today. We went over nap times and what that means, and we'll do a recap at the end as well. So nasal breathing. Nasal breathing, breathing out of your nose instead of your mouth. You don't want to get in the habit of being a mouth breather unless you have, some serious congestion, some bad allergies going on, a serious cold. The mouth is that backup for that. That's why I hate it when people talk about taping their mouths to sleep. I can't stand to hear that. We need our backup airway to be ready to go at any time. Definitely, I see new people popping on. Definitely subscribe to SleepWell RX and like the live if you're really getting good value from this on helping you to get amazing sleep. So it's going to actually increase your oxygen uptake, so you're going to get more oxygenation to your cells. It's going to reduce snoring and actually produce deeper sleep when you breathe out of your nose versus your mouth. So you can do various deep breathing exercises to assist with this. We talked about naturescapes. And these are basically nature sounds. So I don't know if you could hear it. We have like crickets and cicadas going on back in our background to help us sleep at night. So these can actually listen to various nature sounds, whether it's rain, crickets. One of my favorite, I like water sounds. I like babbling brooks. I like, especially, I'm a beach person. I love the ocean and hearing the waves come upon shore. I really enjoy hearing all of those sounds. They actually can help disrupt any other sounds that are coming in, noise. If you have like horns honking, little kids still outside playing when you're trying to go to sleep, these can actually disrupt noises that you don't want to hear and lower your stress hormones. We know our major stress hormone is a cortisol. So listening to nature, being out in nature is great as well. That helps us during the day to lower our stress hormone, the cortisol levels, the major one. The next N we're going to talk about, we're on A to Z sleep hacks. The next N is nettle. Nettle is one of my favorite teas. It's rich in minerals like magnesium. If you have any issues, you always want to check with your doctor, if you see a PA, an NP, an herbalist, a naturopath, whoever you go to, you always want to check with them before you start any new herbs or supplements to make sure that these are not interacting with any previous conditions you have, and also make sure that it's not interacting with any drugs that you're currently on. So the nettle is really good for supporting muscle relaxation. It has iron in it, so if you have any issues with anemia, nettle can assist. Of course, you're maybe on something more serious, such as taking various iron supplements, but nettle is rich in iron and magnesium as well for a better night's sleep. The next N we're going to talk about, we're on A to Z sleep hacks. The letter N is neck support optimization, okay? So definitely supporting your neck at night, adjusting your pillow height. Some people find that their necks feel better almost on no pillow, or some people need a really thick stash of pillows. You will be able to determine that for yourself in terms of which one feels the most comfortable for you. You definitely want to keep your cervical spine aligned properly, which is going to help comfortably for you to get some sleep. Next, we're going to look at is no alarm. So this is something that can be definitely difficult depending on, what's going on in your life. If you have like a plane to catch that morning, definitely no alarm can be harsh. So I like to have people, I'm gonna say, instead of just no alarm at all, usually use an alarm that's a sunrise alarm or something that's gentle, something that's gently awaking you. You don't want to use something that where you just got a great night's sleep and now you're jarred awake. There's a lot of stress. You're gonna raise your cortisol levels. You're also gonna have issues with your adrenal system. So you don't want to be jarred awake. So use gentle alarm clocks. Nothing loud and blaring. You want to use some sounds. I know the iPhone has a ton of apps. You can use sounds gently working up to that in terms of that. So you want to definitely look at that. The next thing we wanted to look at is we talked about naps and some of the 3 ways nap time can go wrong. One of the things I want to encourage people, resting during the day is a complete act of self-care in the middle of the day, especially. Like I said, we can cut our lunches a little bit short. Some people have, breaks in addition to lunch. We have an opportunity to rest our body, mind, and soul. To actually, for better health, we could be more alert, more ready to take on our day. And one of the things we're going to talk about is nidra, that letter N, is yoga nidra. This is a gentle state that we can enter into, and there's a bunch of videos here on YouTube to help you to get into a yoga nidra state. This is not where you're taking a deep rest at nap time. Instead, this is a calming state where you're entering the alpha state in your brain, so alpha brain waves, and they're soothing, relaxing. You're able to lower your cortisol, lower your blood pressure, lower your heart rate, and just to be calmer. And thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone popping on for the likes. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to SleepWell RX, where we help you get the most amazing sleep so that you can wake up to take on your day. Thank you. More people are subscribing and liking. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Some of the other things we like to look at, we just talked about yoga nidra. This is a really great practice. Some people tell me, I just can't sleep in the middle of the day like that. I can't get a deep sleep for nap time. That's okay. Doing a yoga nidra practice where you are doing deep breathing, you're doing a relaxation and soothing will actually help your health and help your mental health as well. So definitely doing that. We're going to look at some other N's. We're doing A to Z sleep hacks. We are on the letter N tonight. We started out with talking about 3 ways nap time ruins your sleep. And that's the title of the live. I'm writing this down because we'll review the 3 ways very soon. Ruins your sleep. So we'll go over the 3 ways. 1, 2, 3. I know we have new people joining, so we'll go over some more of the 3 ways that nap time can definitely ruin your sleep. So we'll definitely, thank you for the likes. Thank you. So one of the next things we talked about is nighttime news. I can't say this enough. I know I've said this on some of the previous videos. Definitely ditch that nighttime news and the one that has that, that rampant strip at the bottom that's just going fast, and you just cannot seem to get to sleep without watching that. What you're doing is overly exerting yourself, overly stressing yourself out, because usually that nighttime news has nothing positive for us. Every now and again, we'll get a feel-good story. Nighttime news is something you definitely want to remove from your nightly diet. I would highly recommend that you find some news like during the daytime that you can get your bullet points from. But you don't need to be slammed and bombarded with all of the horrible things that happen in your city, your state, your county, and federal country as well. Ditch the nighttime news. You don't want that disturbing your sleep. It's going to rise your cortisol levels, cause more stress, and give you more tossing and turning and more insomnia. Definitely ditch the nighttime news. Next, we're going to talk about is definitely having a nightly digital cutoff in general. Now, we always talk about how our devices can actually exert a lot of blue light. So, our blue light is actually interfering with the melatonin production in our body. So that's really, really serious because we need melatonin for a great night's sleep. We actually need melatonin for a lot of other processes in the body, and actually finding that it's really good to help just help us to stay healthy from any processes like a tumor growth and so forth. It inhibits that at night. So we really want that melatonin as punched up as possible. Taking natural melatonin is great. That's seen in a lot of our fruits. We talked about cherries, grapes, kiwi, mango, banana. Finally, you want to definitely, if you have to be on, you can use blue blocker glasses. Blue blocker glasses will help block some of the blue lighting on your phone, coming off your tablet, off of your TV. If you're new here, I see some punching new people popping on the live. Definitely subscribe to the channel and be sure to give us some likes. And thank you so much. If you're new here and you are saying to yourself, I really want to maximize my sleep so that I can get up in the morning and definitely really rule the day, but I'm too tired to do that now, you're in the right place to definitely learn how to do that. If you say, hey, I sleep great, but I know somebody who doesn't, share this video with somebody who you know definitely needs to really, really get a handle on their rest, relaxation, and their sleep. So we're talking about A to Z sleep hacks. We are on the letter N. We're going to redo a recap because we titled this video 3 Ways Nap Time Ruins Your Sleep. So we're going to go over those 3 ways again, and I definitely want to see if you all have any questions as we keep going here. So we talked about, just a brief recap, we talked about nasal breathing is best to breathe through your nose. You're going to have less snoring that way, increase oxygenation to your cells through your nose, and definitely breathing through your nose is going to promote deep, deep sleep as well. We talked about naturescapes. We hear some naturescapes. I have some like crickets in the background here, some cicadas. If that's something that you like to sleep to, that would be great. If not, there's tons and tons of different naturescape tracks here on YouTube, whether it's ocean waves, whether it's, a river, a babbling brook, listening to the forest, and just listening to rain. Some people sleep well with a thunderstorm soundtrack. Some sleep well with a really more gentle rain soundtrack. These are something to keep in mind, definitely. They can help mask any disruptive noise that's going on in the neighborhood or by neighbors, and can also lower your stress levels. This is something, all humans really just have a natural knack for, having a, love for nature, being out in nature. We should definitely spend some time every day. If you could do some time during your lunchtime, before work, and even after work, where you can see forest, where you can see, just the green grass growing, some beautiful flowers. These simple steps actually help to lower our cortisol for a better night's sleep. So definitely look at that. I'm seeing if there's any questions for that. Okay, someone says, suppose you work in an office building. Okay, suppose you work in an office building. What I recommend if you work in an office building, once again, before work, definitely take in some nature. And it doesn't have to be like 10 hours or something crazy. It could be like a 10-minute stint before work. It could be a part of your lunch to do that, and also afterwards. And these can be small 5 to 10-minute stints that you're going to see an improvement. I think ultimately we all just want to be more happy in our lives and more content. You are going to be more happy when you're more in touch with nature, and hearing the sounds of nature, and it's also going to help you to get a better night's sleep. We talked about neck support optimization, which will help with spinal alignment with getting good sleep. We talked about doing a no alarm day. dedicating one day a week where you can just not have your alarm. Even on those other days, you don't want to be startled awake. You want to have gentle sunrise alarm, or either there's even apps on your phone that will gently wake you up with chimes and with slightly increasing sound so that you are not jarred awake. A lot of times when we're jarred awake, we're pissed off, we're mad, we're already having a bad start to our day with those really loud alarms. Even the loud ones on our phone can really be problematic. That's something you definitely want to do. See if there's any questions. Okay, great, great. No questions so far. So we'll do a quick recap when we were talking about the 3 ways nap time ruins your sleep. Be sure to subscribe if you are new here, you haven't subscribed yet. We go over every day the amazing, amazing hints, tips, tricks, hacks for you to get really, really good sleep. So this one we're going to look at if you are sleeping too long for a nap. A lot of people don't realize this, but when they take a nap, it's not a free-for-all to just, sleep for the next 3 or 4 hours. We should be taking ideally 20 to 30 minute power naps, especially if we have work to get back to. A lot of us have to get back to work. We have to get back to, picking up kids, doing after school activities, getting dinner ready. So we don't want it to be too long. I'm thinking 20 to 30 minutes is the power nap on our weekdays. Now, if you have a day off, you can go ahead and treat yourself to like that 60-minute power nap, because you know that you don't have to get back to work. Perhaps you don't have, the kids to pick up, someone else picking them up, or maybe it's a Saturday and they're already at home just having a good time. This is something you should definitely keep in mind. Number 2, we looked at definitely too late. So if you're having a too late, a lot of people when they get off work about 5 or 6 o'clock or so and they get home, they feel like they need to pass out. And I get it, trust me. However, this is going to interfere with you getting a good night's sleep. So you want to definitely have your window from anywhere from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to getting a good nap in. If you wait too late, and I'll put that on here, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you wait later than that, you're going to interfere with yourself to be able to get a good night. And we'll do the number 3 one after we cover a few more N's. We're doing A to Z sleep hacks. We're on the letter N right now. We just talked about neck support. Getting that proper cervical alignment will definitely help you to sleep better and to also definitely reduce stiffness and headaches that could disturb your sleep. I always try to encourage my clients who come to me to definitely have a chiropractor that they see regularly for adjustments. A lot of the chiropractor adjustments will certainly help with alignment. And a lot of people have what they call is, pain-induced insomnia, where they are not able to get a good night's sleep because of the pain and discomfort. They can definitely help assist in your arsenal to fighting insomnia, a good chiropractor. Let's see, the next one we looked at is doing nose unclogging system. A lot of people have difficulty sleeping. We can become more congested at night and have allergies. I know pretty soon here we're going to be wrapping up summer. It's going to be a beautiful fall season. I'm sure of it. It's always beautiful. But those leaves everywhere can definitely aggravate allergies. So that's definitely something you want to check into. So some of the things you can use is, having a little eucalyptus, a little peppermint. Some people even find, we're going to do a shameless plug here. We have our SleepWell RX organic lavender spray. Lavender can help open the airways as well. Some people use it for neti pot. We talked about that, and that's where they put a little bit of salt and a little bit of water in the pot. This is like an ancient Asian tradition. The neti pots can definitely open the airways so that you aren't, trying to go to sleep where you're dry and congested. Getting that good moisture into the airways is very important. If you live in a dry climate, having a humidifier is a great idea. I think it's an absolute must. So if you're in like Nevada, Arizona, I know we have places, people all over the world here. If you're living in like Dubai, if you're living in places that are known to be desert and dry, it is difficult to sleep well if you're having those issues. So you definitely want to look into that and definitely make some changes. Adding a humidifier, your body will thank you, your nasal passages will thank you, even having a dry throat. Your throat will thank you as well for you to get better sleep at night. We talked about nidra, what you know yoga nidra is. And this is a relaxation process. If you are someone who says, I just can't get naps in. I just can't, when I try and get a 20 or 30 minute nap in, I just never get there. I never go to sleep. But studies have found that you don't have to go into a deep sleep to still get the benefits of getting good rest. Yoga Nidra is a gentle way of rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation, where you are still getting a time of complete downtime, calmness, activating some of the alpha waves in your brain. And they're finding that this can actually help with your immune system, help with blood pressure, help with any heart issues. Just resting and being still during that time can be so helpful. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to SleepWell RX, where we help you to get the most amazing sleep. Again, we're on A to Z sleep hacks. We are on the letter N tonight. So we've talked about naps, and we're going to do a recap of naps today as to why your nap time may not be working for you. We talked about nidra, specifically yoga nidra. We talked about neck support. We talked about nasal breathing for nap time. So we're going to look at a few other things, and then we'll wrap up and see if you have any questions. The next one is a neutral color palette in your bedroom. Now, I've studied classical feng shui, and one of the things, color plays an important part in that. And it's really the movement of chi, the movement of energies in and with out of our space, and also has to do with some of our stable structures outside of our home as well. Well, using calming neutrals is definitely one of the lessons I learned in classical feng shui. In this bedroom, when you're using neutrals, and one of the way to think of neutrals is I always think about the different varieties of color of, hi, I see someone new here. Definitely be sure to like the live. Thank you so much for hopping on, and be sure to subscribe if you are definitely dealing with any sleep issues at all. Subscribe to our channel. We are dedicated to helping you get the most amazing sleep here at SleepWell RX. Thank you for the subscribes and the likes. Thank you. So we're getting back to definitely what's going on. So we talked about neutrals. So they're usually the colors of various humans. So whether beige, tan, more of a peach, ivories, all of the different gambits are really the good neutrals that you want to use in your bedroom to help you to get a good night's sleep. It reduces visual stimulation. So if you're overly stimulated, your mind is running. I had a client recently who had a beautiful, it was like a fuchsia accent wall in her bedroom. It was very gorgeously decorated. It was beautiful, but it was very alarming and jolting to have this hot pink accent wall for your bedroom. Save that for, I don't know, your living room, your family room. Your family room can be a lively, fun place where you're, interacting, playing games with family, having fun. But your bedroom needs to be as soothing as possible with neutral color palette. We talked about nose unclogging, using eucalyptus, peppermint. Our spray here, lavender, is a good way to spray. You could spray this in your air at nighttime. Spray it on your face is safe enough for that. And we do not have this available quite yet. It will be available in September, so stay tuned. I'm really excited about that. We're going to have this available. If you want to get on our waiting list, definitely check the comment section. We'll put some information on how you can definitely get on the waiting list to have this available. So you want to open your passages. So if you have any issues, a neti pot is also a good idea to open your nasal passages. It's going to definitely increase the nasal flow and the airflow in general. It's going to, once again, increase oxygenation to your cells. And finally, it's going to decrease if you have any issues or you know someone who has issues with snoring. The neti pot can be very, very helpful with assisting with that. So the next N, we're on A to Z sleep hacks. We're on the letter N tonight. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel to help yourself get the most amazing, amazing sleep ever. We're all about sleep here at SleepWell RX. The next one is the nighttime alcohol. So nighttime without alcohol is what we should be looking at. So no nightcap. Alcohol actually can, initially it actually is a sedative. It's a gentle sedative, and most people can feel that. That's largely because the grapes in alcohol contain natural melatonin. So that's where we're coming full circle with that. However, the alcohol content will disrupt your sleep architecture. And that's just a fancy name for all the sleep phases you go into. So we know we go in phase 1, we go to phase 2, we even have a pre-phase, the major phase where we get a lot of healing of our DNA repair is our REM, the rapid eye movement phase. It messes up the architecture where you don't go into these phases deep enough, you don't stay in them. We actually go into these phases in and out throughout the night. We get a lot of our deep, deep dreaming in the REM phase. But if we're drinking alcohol, that can definitely ruin our sleep architecture. So we want to trade out the alcohol. If you need an evening beverage, you can do, some nice spring water. I've been experimenting. When we get to W, I have to show you all some of the waters I've been experimenting with. And I've been experimenting specifically with waters that come in glass containers so that we're not getting all of the microplastics in. So we'll definitely go over that when we keep going into the letter W. So I'm hoping to get this whole series finished in August and in time for the launch of our SleepWell products so that you all can definitely apply these for your bedtime routine. So definitely you want an alternative. If you're not lactose intolerant, you can have small amounts of milk, which will have melatonin as well. I do have lactose intolerance, so I opt for herbal teas. One of my favorite is I like dandelion root. It's a gentle sedative. It helps with the liver detox and kidney detox. Some other favorites, I have a good passion flower tea, a valerian, I think a lavender tea. I have like all these variety of teas that I like to try out and really suggest to clients depending on if they're open to having some different herbal recommendations. So you can still have a drink before bed, just not alcohol. So next we're gonna look at nutrient timing for sleep. So that's basically you want to have your complex carbs earlier in the morning and even earlier in the evening, and adding a little extra protein so that you're not getting these big dips. Some of the reasons that people wake up in the middle of the night is because their blood sugar is plummeting. And the body is really trying to wake you up and say, wait a minute, are we trying to survive here? You're like in survival mode. Get something to eat right quick. So we don't want that happening. So definitely nutrient timing for sleep is really important. We want to put our devices on night mode as much as possible so they're dim. We want to night mode our whole home. So dimming the lights, not using the bright over like fluorescent lights. In fact, in a few minutes here, I'll be done with this live. I'm going to make sure I get off. I have this ring light that's bright now, so we're going to shut that down. I have a little nighttime lamp that I'll use if I need to wake up or even just to go to sleep in the beginning. You want to have lamps and just really nice lighting throughout your home that's really mimicking what the sun is doing. As the sun is setting, we're setting also with the lighting in our house. So night mode on your devices. The next one I wanted to talk about is really another essential oil, and that we're working on this one. I've already talked to you about our lavender sleep oil. We're working on another combination that will combine neroli and rose. So neroli comes from orange blossom. And it kind of smells really orangey when you're smelling. It's calming and it's also mood lifting. In general, I don't know if you all have experienced this when you are working with citrus. If you're just peeling an orange or peeling a tangerine, it can help you to reduce anxiety and just really have a certain sense of contentment and uplifting of your mood. So that's something you definitely want to take a look at, if one of those of essential oils. Before going to bed at night, you can also try some non-dominant activities with your hand. This can actually slow your brain down. So for instance, I'm right-handed. So I'll start to do a little bit more with my left-handed. It kind of slows the brain down because my brain's not used to that. And it definitely increases a state of mindfulness before going to bed. And I'm trying to think, that's most of what we've covered tonight. I'll do a quick recap and then we'll do a recap of the 3 ways your nap time could be ruining you. So we talked about definitely doing nasal breathing as much as possible. Breathing in and out of your nose, not your mouth. We were not designed to breathe out of our mouth. That mouth is really a backup airway for breathing. Now, there are people who love to, encourage taping of the mouth. I've never encouraged that, and it makes me nervous. Suppose you have a night, you don't even know you're coming down with a cold, and next thing you know in the morning, you're trying to take a deep breath, and you can't with your nose because you're congested, and now your mouth is taped closed. That is dangerous to me. You can have a panic attack. Don't do that. I hear a lot of people talking about that. I would not do it, and I don't recommend that anyone ever does it. So we talked about nasal breathing. We talked about naturescapes, listening to beautiful nature noise, whether it's ocean sounds, YouTube, SoundCloud. All these have really great tracks for us to get a good night's sleep. So ocean, the rain, whether you like a thunderstorm. Some people like a little bit of, it's not necessarily nature, but smooth jazz, gentle classical. These are some tips and tools you can use to help fall to sleep at night. Neck support is really important for our spinal alignment. So definitely see, do you need to shop for a new pillow? Most of us, we need to wash our pillows. They say minimum every 3 to 6 months, or get a new one. It should be made of organic, natural fibers as much as possible. They make good foam ones. They make gel ones that will actually support your spine. This can definitely help if you're experiencing any neck stiffness or discomfort upon wakening or during while you're asleep at night. We looked at no alarm, no loud alarms. It would be great if you could have a no alarm day, maybe your Saturday or Sunday. You could try a no alarm day where you just wake up naturally and gently. But in general, we shouldn't have really loud, blaring alarms. We really shouldn't have that. We really should have gentle alarms on a regular basis for that. Once again, we wonder why sometimes we wake up mad at the world if that alarm just jarred us awake. That's one of the reasons we're mad. It's probably tons of reasons, but let's get rid of that one. Do a gentle sunrise alarm clock. If you could just wake up naturally without an alarm clock, that's great. And I know that's not feasible for some people. So definitely have something that gently wakes you up. We talked about nidra for in. Yoga nidra, where these gentle exercises, you're doing deep breathing, almost a little bit of a self-hypnosis, as you could say, where if you're a person who finds like, I really can't get to nap time because I just don't fall asleep, but I want to rest. If that's you, yoga nidra is perfect for that. This will help you to relax, rejuvenate, calm down, lower your blood pressure, lower your cortisol levels, so that you are definitely able to be healthier in general, and that you wake up more refreshed from your yoga nidra exercises, ready to take on the day. We talked about a neutral. The next N was neutral color palettes. And just to keep in mind, this would be the different various colors throughout the gambit of the human race. Whether it's a tan color, a deeper ebony color, whether it's more of a peach color, a lighter ivory color. The various colors of neutral human skin tones help us to reduce visual stimulation at nighttime and just really produces a gentle tranquility. So we don't want any bright red or, black fluorescent hot pink accent walls or wallpaper. We need gentle walls also for our bedding as well, and also for our walls and floors. We talked about unclogging our nose. Peppermint eucalyptus in your aromatherapy machine is a great way at night. It's hard to get to sleep in some of these climates where our noses are clogged up and we just can't seem to, get good night's sleep because of the irritation. We talked about no night caps with alcohol. Alcohol, it does serve as that gentle sedative, because a lot of people say, oh, I get drowsy when I drink it, but it messes up your whole sleep architecture. It ages you because it's actually pulling water out of you. It's dehydrating. A lot of people don't know this, but going to sleep at night is a natural dehydrating process in of itself. That's why it's recommended one of the first things we drink in the morning is a glass of water, and not necessarily of our coffee. Have that water first, or some type of hydrating beverage. If you want to do fruit infused beverages, or even some fruit juice as well. We want to really replace that hydration that's been taken away during sleep time. It's a natural process that happens to all of us, but we don't want to make it worse by actually, having alcohol before bed. Alcohol is highly dehydrating. It also serves as a mild diuretic. So in addition to you not getting great night's sleep, it can also serve where you are having to get up throughout the night to eliminate the alcohol. So I'm always recommending ditch that alcohol, replace that with a favorite herbal tea, some water, some fruit infused water, beverages like that before you go to bed. We talked about nutrient timing before sleep. If you need to have a little snack, again, your big meal should be about 3 hours before. So if you go to bed at 10, no later than 7 for your meal. Because you need to take time for the body to digest that food. If it's spending too much time digesting, it's not going to have the energy reserves available to actually help you to get to sleep because it's so busy digesting. But I tell people you can have a small nighttime snack. So the nutrient timing, you definitely want it to be, it can be a little bit of carb, but actually put some protein in there so that you don't get these dips throughout the night. We looked at definitely night mode on our devices. So definitely look at night mode so that you are not just glaring and having so much blue light inhibiting melatonin. Blue blocker glasses can help. They don't eliminate all of it, but they are helpful. So there's something that you can look into. Let's see. We talked about no nightly news. Cut out the nightly news. We don't need to be bombarded with bad stories and bad narrations of what's going on in our city, our county, our state, our entire world. We're even getting, I've become addicted lately. I have to follow my own advice. We're getting a lot of space news lately of, things coming from outer space that should be here by October or November. We have, news of solar flares. I have to cut that out because it upsets me and stresses me out. And now I'm tossing and turning. Definitely cut out, city, county, state, world, earth, and space as well. Cut out your nightly news. Get your bullet points during the day. We can't just hide our head in the sand. I wish we could sometimes. I don't think that would be such a bad idea, but we do need to be aware of our surroundings, what's going on in the world, without being bombarded with it. We don't need that as our last thoughts before going to bed at night. So no nightly news. We looked at additionally neroli essential oil because we're working on a combination that's going to have that next. Right now we have our lavender one that will be available in September. I'm so excited. We'll do a whole show on it. We'll ask Q&A and all of that good stuff on our SleepWell RX organic lavender sleep spray. Once again, you can spray it in the air. You spray it in your face for a good night's sleep. If you want to keep that fragrance going, you can put a little bit of this in your aromatherapy machine. You can grab your favorite pillow, spray some of this on your pillow for a great night's sleep. Now I'm ready to go to bed. I'll only be on here a few more minutes and then I'm going to sleep myself. So that was basically our end. I do want to recap like what the title of our video was. It was 3 ways nap time can ruin your sleep. So we looked at some of the top 3 ways. One of them is definitely if you sleep too long. So that's for someone who's getting a nap time. They're, say if they start their nap time at noon and they last till about 3. That's hours upon hours of going to sleep. And your body actually builds up sleep pressure during the day, the desire to sleep. And if you do this too long, you'll get rid of that pressure and you'll have difficulty going to bed at night. Definitely. Oh, hi, George. Good to see you. Definitely like the live if you're not already subscribed. I'm so glad you could make it to the live. I appreciate it. So your nap time should be what we call a power nap, 20 to 30 minutes long. And if anyone has any questions after we go over these 3 things, we'll definitely do some questions, some Q&A after this. Now on the weekends where you say, okay, I have a little bit more time, you can extend it. I will extend it to an hour. I may sleep from 12 to 1 and really enjoy a good Sunday afternoon nap time because I know I don't have to, go get back to work. I don't have to pick up kids. Usually we've already cooked dinner. So it just makes it sense to do a little bit longer on the weekends, but you don't want to do 3-4 hour marathons of nap time. Number 2 is that their nap time could be too late. That's another reason. So you want to have a time window if you're taking a nap, anytime from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay? Some people tell me, I can't do that. I work. If you're feeling that you need to have that rest in the middle of the day, even if it's not a deep sleep, even if it's what we talked about, the yoga nidra rest, you can do this during your lunchtime, during the middle of the day. If you wait till you get off of work about 5 or 6, you are definitely going to interrupt your nap time. So you don't want too long a nap. So 20 to 30 minutes power nap. We'll cheat a little on the weekends. I always get a good hour in on the weekends. Too late. So we want that window to be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And another reason why people have issues with naps are too inconsistent. So this should be something, even if it's just downtime where you're just resting. They find that downtime and just resting, actually we get a lot of body repair for that. Even if we're not in a deep sleep, that downtime and resting is so important to do that in the middle of the day. Take some time for yourself and be consistent with that as well. So there we have it. We talked about 3 ways nap times can ruin your bedtime sleep. Too long, too late, too inconsistent. I'll try and have a bigger board. I don't know if you all could see this one okay. We'll definitely do a bigger board, definitely. So I see some questions coming up. Blue Black Flag said, if we're getting enough, I don't think your question came all the way sleep. Oh, it's backwards. Thank you for telling me that. I think I'm gonna have to figure out, or I might have to do it digitally. Thank you for telling me that, George. Why do we even need to nap? Yeah, so getting that nap in the afternoon, a lot of us can feel naturally, if we've been up since 5 or 6 in the morning, about anywhere from 12 to 2, we can naturally feel that rundown. Some people grab a coffee to fight it, which I don't advise. I advise listening to your body. Now, if you're a person that says, yeah, I can get up at 5 and I'm bright and alert at 12 and 1, then you may not need a nap. If I get up at 5, about 12, I've been up for 7 hours, I need a break from doing work, from doing whatever I've been doing. Getting that nap time in helps to lower our stress, helps to lower our cortisol levels, helps to lower blood pressure levels. So really, really, our bodies are rejuvenating and regenerating during that nap time. Once again, you don't have to go into a deep, deep sleep. You can take what they're called a gentle yoga nidra. You're just resting, looking at the sky. Just something calming, soothing, and relaxing. Yeah, so that's a great question. Thank you. Maybe something with the camera. Yeah, I'll definitely try that with the I have to research and look into that. Thank you so much. I like the whiteboard too, but if it's backwards, that's a piece of art. But thank you for telling me. I'm gonna do a flip. I'll probably just Google it or chat GPT to see what I did. You're great. Yeah, I love nap time too. Someone said I love nap time. Yeah, me too, George. Yep. I definitely love it. So definitely be sure to subscribe. I think I see a lot of people who are already subscribers. So thank you for subscribing to our channel and for liking it. Oh, thoughts on ashwagandha. Okay, ashwagandha is a good anti-stress herb. I have not experimented with it at nighttime. I don't know. It's not necessarily a sedative that will put you to sleep. I always recommend when it comes to herbals, check with your primary care person. As a clinical pharmacist, I have to tell you to do that. But it's an adaptogen, so it kind of adapts to what's going on with you. It's not necessarily a sedative, but it's a good anti-stress herb. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for the questions. Is meditating the same as napping? You know, I would not consider, because napping, you're losing consciousness if you're actually going to sleep. Meditating, you're supposed to stay conscious during that whole time while you're asleep. Even if you enter a lot of meditations, you can enter a trance. You can't enter that alpha state where you have those alpha brain waves that are really slow. But I would consider meditating and napping two different things because of the level of consciousness you have. Definitely, yeah. So great questions. You guys have answered great questions tonight. Thank you, thank you. And if there are any more questions, let me know. I'm going to work on that whiteboard for the next meeting, hopefully. We are on Sleep Hacks A to Z. We just covered the letter N tonight, so join us for the rest of the month. We're going to wrap up this series in the month of August, just in time to release my new sleep spray, SleepWell RX Organic Lavender Sleep Spray. This will be available in September so that you guys can get this. Definitely send me a message on Instagram or TikTok if you're interested now to get on the waiting list. And we're going to put something in the comments so that you can definitely get that. I'm going to try doing another live tomorrow. Yeah. Can you share thoughts on magnesium baths? Yeah, but you need to be complete out for to be. Okay, so I'm going to answer. So the first question he asked is meditating the same as napping? No, I don't consider it the same because if you're actually going to sleep for your nap, you kind of have lost that consciousness during those 20 to 30 minutes. Where meditating, you're maintaining consciousness, even though it can be a trance or alpha state, you're still maintaining that. And he says, do you need to be complete out for it to be a nap? To be a nap time, it is complete out. However, if you feel during that 12 to 2-ish window, or whenever you start your day, and now it's 7 or 8 hours later that you need to rest, I consider activities like, progressive muscle relaxation, nap time, chilling in your car, looking at the sky, is getting that rest. That's what's really important for that self-care and that personal rest. Let's see the next question. Can you share your thoughts on magnesium baths? Yeah, I love magnesium baths. So one of the easiest ways to get them, because they're so accessible and really affordable, is you can buy a big bag of Epsom salt from all your grocery stores, from all your, grocery stores have it, drug stores have it. I think I saw some Epsom salt at the gas station. So you have no excuse. You use a cup or two of the Epsom salt, dissolve it into a warm bath. And what Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. And it is the best relaxer on the planet. That's a natural relaxer. So since we're covering the level N, there are other pharmaceutical relaxers that will relax your muscles from head to toe. But magnesium is that special one. And they say in our country here in America, 70% of Americans are actually deficient in magnesium. Now, magnesium is one of the major, I would say major minerals for the conductivity of our heart. And that really explains it, because heart disease is still, after all the other issues we have in America, still the #1 killer in America. And so that explains why we could be deficient as well. So you can use magnesium from the, like I said, the Epsom salt. That is what that is, magnesium. There's actually magnesium flakes in your health food store. So you go to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, they carry a different type of magnesium. I think it's called magnesium hexahydrate. It's a different form of it. And it's actually little flakes, and they're kind of cool. They actually have magnesium oils you can put into the bath. There's no reason why we can't get great relaxing baths with our magnesium. So that's a great question. And then she asked, when is our next live? Yeah, the next live is tomorrow, same time. It sure is. Yep. So I started about 7:30 p.m. Central. So that's what will be our next live. So thank you all again. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you for all of the likes. And I will see you tomorrow night as we go further down the alphabet on our A to Z sleep hacks. Again, I'm Robyn Scott, your sleep health coach and clinical pharmacist, helping you to get the most amazing sleep. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.